this tutorial is for the block called Texas Tiers, and this is a finished block right here. So you only have 2 pages to this pattern. There's the instruction page and then the foundation paper piece page. So what you're going to do is you're going to foundation piece 4 units that look like this. And then you're going to cut from this template the little red center square. And if you want to fussy cut it, cut this out of what is that paper? A mylar paper or something that you can see through a little bit, and then you can get this centered. Or you can fold this and put a pin through and, you know, center a little design in the middle if you want. So you're going to have 1 red square and 4 units like this. So these you'll square up with a ruler and a rotary cutter, and it's going to be 1/4 inch past that solid outside line around all 4 of the shapes. You're also going to have 4 corners of background that you'll set aside and put on the very last. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your first little unit and you're going to partial seam this piece onto it. So do you see how we've sewn about halfway from here towards the outside? And now we're going to attach another piece to this long seam. Then you would sew another piece onto that long seam. And these will fit because the seams will be taken off. And then you'll sew your last piece on. And so this is still open. This will be your last seam. So I'll show you on the back of this one. So this was my last seam right here. So you're just going to fold that. You're going to place them right sides together. You're going to match up this edge and you're going to sew, and you're going to end up meeting that seam where you started right here in the middle. And if you can't get close enough and have that seam open, do a little partial clip a little bit into the seam so that you can get your sewing machine in there. So I suggest folding that little itty bitty square in half and sewing. This first half will be halfway through the little square, and you sew towards the outside. So this is called partial seaming because you're going to do a little partial seam and then you finish up with a partial seam. And that's how you can get that look of an inset seam without setting it in, without doing a piece of sashing through here, because we wanted this unit to, it's just easier. It's a fun technique. All right, then you're going to take your 4 corners and you're going to sew them right sides together on the end of each one of these, and you're going to flip them over. And these are too big. This is the right size of your block. I think this is a 7-inch block, so this should measure 7.5 from here to here. Let me make sure. Yes. So 7.5 inches from here to here and 7.5 inches from here to here. When you sew these on, they'll be a little bit too big. They'll be hanging out like this. So then you're just going to get a ruler and you can lay, I like to do it this direction. You can lay it so that this lines up with the edge and this lines up with the edge, and you can square off and trim all 4 of those corners. And that is it for the Texas Tiers block. It's a fun technique.